Venerable Lavrentios, during the difficult years of the Turkish occupation, in Megara there lived a pious and respectful farmer named Lavrentios Canellus. This farmer worked the fields every day in order to earn a living and provide for his wife and 2 sons. One day, Lavrentios went to work his fields near Corinth with 2 of his co-workers. Even though they worked tirelessly, they were unable to complete their work before nightfall. Therefore, the 3 men were forced to spend the night in that area. That night, while Lavrentios slept from a hard day's work, the Panagia appeared to him in a vision. She showed him a place that he had never seen before and instructed him to build a church there in her honor. When he awoke, the farmer sat up in bed thinking to himself, "Who are you to order me to build a church in your honor?" Suddenly he heard a woman's voice saying, "My church and monastery on the northern part of the island of Salamina are in ruins." Lavrentios was astonished, but he decided that, in spite of the vision he saw and the voice he had heard, he would discount them as a demonic deception. The following day, he went back to work as if nothing had happened. However, that night the Panagia appeared to the good farmer again and repeated her request. Again the man disobeyed her instructions, thinking that the visions were inspired by the devil in order to deceive him. He was certainly unworthy to visit. He was certainly unworthy of a visit from the most holy Theotokos. Naturally, the Mother of God knew Lavrentios' good character, and so she appeared to him for a 3rd time in another nighttime vision. She told him, "Good sir, go quickly to the island of Salamina and fulfill my instructions." He could no longer ignore the persistent request of the Panagia, and so he abandoned his work and immediately returned to his home in Megara. There in his home, he kept a prayerful vigil concerning these things. At night, our Most Holy Lady appeared to him again. This time she urged him very sternly to go to the island and to fulfill her request. Furthermore, she showed him the monastery properties and revealed how they had been desecrated by the inhabitants. When Lavrentios awoke, he offered fervent prayers to God and to the Mother of God, and he knew that he would need their assistance if he were to complete this difficult undertaking. Then he set off for the coast. However, an unpleasant surprise awaited him at the docks. Due to severe weather, he was unable to find a boat for hire to transport him to Salamina. "Most Holy Lady," he prayed, "you know that I am embarking on this adventure for your sake. Therefore, I beg you, please help me to get to the destination." Lavrentios had only just finished offering his prayer when he heard a voice from the heavens saying, "Cast your overcoat into the sea, sit on it, and this will safely carry you to the island." With faith in the Mother of God's instructions, this is exactly what he did, and so he overcame the last shred of doubt that remained in his heart. His coat carried him on the stormy sea as if it were a boat, safely transporting him all the way to the shores of Salamina. Softly speaking words of doxology and thanksgiving to God, he began to search for the exact place shown to him by the Mother of God in the vision. When he finally located the place, he found an ancient icon of the Mother of God buried within the ruins of the church. Eventually, with much toil and effort, especially since Greece was occupied by Muslim Turks at that time. He rebuilt the abandoned monastery. Many pious Christians assisted in the effort. Some volunteered to physically assist in the building project itself, while others gave donations from the little money that they had. Lavrentios named it the Sacred Monastery of Panagia Phaneromene, which means revealed, since it was the Theotokos herself who revealed the location of her icon and church. Afterward, he became a monk there and received the name Lavrentios. His wife, Basilo, following his holy example, was tonsured a nun in the female monastery and received the name Bassiani. There she engaged in the ascetic struggle for the rest of her life. Saint Lavrentius' example of asceticism attracted young pious monks to the monastery Phaneromene. The entire brotherhood struggled to imitate the virtuous life of their venerable abbot. Also, every day, many lay people visited the monastery in order to receive spiritual blessings in the form of console and prayer from the monastery's spiritual father. The miraculous icon of the Panagia was a support and consultation to the people, while the hospitable abbot embraced everyone equally with Christ-like love. The prayers of the saint healed many sick people, and in a short time the monastery became beloved by all. In time the villagers felt remorse over the mistreatment of the monastery's properties, and returned everything which they had wrongly taken. Before long, Saint Lavrentius succeeded in reclaiming all of the monastery's rightful properties. The income earned from the cultivation of those properties was used to offer hospitality to pilgrims and to support the poor. Only one large, fertile property was not returned to the monastery, an olive grove that was in the hands of a very powerful Ottoman ruler on the island. He refused to return the property to the abbot. Not long after the ruler refused to return the property back, the Ottoman's beloved wife fell gravely ill. Unfortunately, no doctor or medicine was able to heal her malady. One day, the ailing woman heard about Saint Lavrentius and the miracles that his prayer could perform. In desperation, she asked her husband, "Dear husband, you know how much I have suffered on account of this illness. No physician has been able to cure me. However, I have heard that there is a certain man, whom you know, that heals many sick people by his prayers to God. His name is Lavrentius, and he is an abbot at the monastery Phaneromene. I beg you, please, ask for his help." Her request enraged her husband because he hated Christians. "Ask me everything else, and I will do it. I will even travel to the ends of the earth to bring you the best doctors. But do not ask me to request help from Lavrentius." The ailing woman did not dare to insist on her request. However, her conditions continued to worsen, even to the point of death. At that time, the Ottoman decided to quickly seek the saint's assistance, and he requested that Lavrentius come to his home. Without a single thought for the disputed monastery property, and with complete trust in God's mercy, the tender-hearted elder responded immediately to the ruler's request for assistance. Saint Lavrentius entered the ruler's home, approached the sick woman, made the sign of the cross over her 3 times with his staff, and then began to pray. After he had prayed fervently for the restoration of her health, he returned to the monastery. God, who truly hears the prayers of his faithful servants, performed the miracle that Saint Lavrentios requested. The following day, the woman's health began to improve, and a few days later, she was completely healed. Once again, the Ottoman called the venerable abbot to his home in order to thank him. With tears in his eyes, he asked for Saint's forgiveness for his previous hard-heartedness regarding to the property, and then the ruler returned the olive grove to the monastery Faneromeni. Toward the end of his angelic life, Saint Lavrentios built a small cell on a steep slope that was difficult to reach on foot. There in silence he completed his life in prayer and reflection until his repose. The abbot fell asleep on March 6, 1707. His simple and humble soul went to meet the Mother of God. Our Church honors his memory on March 7. May he intercede for us. Amen.